What's up, SnEaKyNation? SnEaKy-P here, back with all the news after Week 15 in year number 2 of our 49ers franchise, where the 49ers had a tough loss to the Green Bay Packers. Let's go ahead and check out some highlights. The Packers would strike first. Aaron Rodgers finding Davante Adams down the field, and that would set up this run by Eddie Lacy, who would take it all the way down within the 10-yard line. However, on third down and goal, Rodgers looking for the end zone, and he is going to come up just shy. Randall Cobb with the catch. He is 2 yards shy. The Packers would have to settle for a field goal and take a 3-0 lead over the 49ers. The 49ers would respond, though, on the left side. Shaquan Fryer across midfield to the 45-yard line. And then on second down and 8, Dimitri Todman, welcome back from injury. Good sir, 43 yards out. That is a touchdown for the 49ers, and they would go on top 7-3 over the Packers, and that is the start of a great game by Dimitri Todman. Davante Adams over the middle. He is another receiver who had a great game. Then on third and 14, Rodgers looking down the field, and wide open is Davante Adams. Nobody covering him there. And then on third and goal, Richard Rodgers into the end zone, and that is a perfectly placed pass by Aaron Rodgers. The Packers would retake the lead 10-7 over the 49ers early on in the second. Then later on in the second down and 3 down the right side, Chantrell Wilkerson would get the ball back for the 49ers at the 43-yard line. His 10th interception of his rookie season. The guy is outstanding. On third down and 10 for the 49ers. Pressure on the way on the right side. This is Chris Owusu, and he would take it all the way down to the 18-yard line. On second down and 1, though, Carlos Hyde would fumble the ball. Randall would recover for the Packers, and that is a missed opportunity for this 49ers offense. On second down and 10, on the left side, once again, Davante Adams making the play to the 44-yard line of 49er territory. Then on second and 1, play action down the left side, it's Richard Rodgers on the play. He would get it down to the 21. The Packers would have to settle for a field goal, but that would give them a 13-7 lead. A minute and a half to work with, but they're not done yet. They would get the ball again, and Richard Rodgers would make some plays again. Then on first down and goal, it is intercepted right before halftime by DeMarcus Avery, saving the 49ers from giving up 7 more points. That would have been a ridiculously hard hole to crawl out of, but instead the 49ers are still in the game. However, the Packers would start off with the ball in the second half, and Jordy Nelson would have a huge reception there, but Jackson would fumble the ball. Brown forcing the fumble, Mike Morgan recovering, and the 49ers would take over at the 32-yard line. Trying to get back into this game, they are going to look for Dimitri Todman once again, beating Sam Shields down the field. That is his second touchdown in his return from injury, and the 49ers would go on top 14-13 over the Packers. Todman had a field day, but Lacy and the Packers looking to respond down the right side of the field at the 31. But on second down and 25, Rodgers looking down the field, and he will connect with Randall Cobb all the way to the 1. However, the 49ers red zone defense once again stepping up and making some plays. The Packers held to a field goal. They would have a 16-14 lead until Dimitri Todman, for the third time of the game, taking it to the house against this Packers secondary, and he wants to hear it from the crowd. His return has been noted. The Packers, though, not done yet. This is Aaron Rodgers, and he is capable of making some plays. On third and 17, Jordy Nelson would get the first down. Then down the left side, Nelson again all the way to the 4-yard line. First and goal. Rodgers rolling outside, and Ty Montgomery into the end zone. That is a touchdown for the Packers. They will go on top with under 7 minutes to go. The 2-point conversion will not work out. All the 49ers need is a field goal. However, a touchdown would certainly be more reassuring. Aaron Lissamore with a nice grab on third down. Then Willie Snead down the left side of the field all the way to the 25-yard line. Joel Edison will knock a field goal through the uprights. 24-22 would be the score. However, plenty of time for Aaron Rodgers, and here he is finding Richard Rodgers all the way to the 45. Then on first and 10 on the left side, it's Ty Montgomery from 32 yards out, and the Packers would take the lead back in a hurry, but the 49ers Time is still on the clock. 29-24, 55 seconds to go. Aaron Lissamore with a big play. He fumbles, but the 49ers recover. However, on 4th down and 10, looking for Willie Snead. It's not going to happen, and the Green Bay Packers would escape with a 29-24 victory over the San Francisco 49ers. A few press questions today. The first one coming from GamerGuy7824. With the close battle that is forming in the wild card and the loss last week, what changes are you planning on making for the final push to get to that second level? And first thing I will say is Aaron Rodgers was a very tough matchup for us. Luckily, we are not playing another quarterback of his caliber in these last 2 games. We've already beaten the Rams once on the road. We're playing them next. I do feel like the 49ers could get a win there. That would certainly be huge, but it's still going to be a tough game. However, the injury to Marcus Gesser has really set us back. As you can tell, without having him, Aaron Rodgers had a field day, over 500 yards against our secondary. We did see 2 interceptions on the day, but ultimately that's just giving up way too many yards. And if a team can get down the field at ease to that extent, they are more than likely going to win the game. And I think that's what we saw, not having Marcus Gesser. I do feel comfortable with Jimmy Ward playing at cornerback for us and DeMarcus Avery playing back at safety. It's not an ideal situation at all. It's more of a Band-Aid. The 49ers just do not have the depth to make up for the help there in the secondary. But overall, we're not playing another passing attack like that. And so I do feel fairly comfortable that we could still end up getting a few wins here and making a push for it. It's not going to be an easy task, but we're not out of it yet. The second press question is coming from Jacob Pickup. With the way Shaquan Fryer has been playing lately, could his role be increased? And yes, it is. And I think you saw that a little bit in that last game. Despite Aaron Lissamore coming back, we started to give Shaquan Fryer more time in that number 2 tight end role over Selleck. And so far, he's been delivering. We did see that one play where he kind of got tripped up on Owusu on what could have been a touchdown. Overall, though, he has been playing outstanding, and we're very excited about his future. Let's go ahead and check out all of the scores from around the NFL. First game up has the Bills taking down the Saints 24-21, and this is a big game with playoff implications. Both teams fighting for a spot in that playoff race. The Bills now at 8-6 on the year. The Saints falling to 9-4-1. However, the Panthers are right on their heels, and if the Panthers got a win this week, all of a sudden that is a tied up division once again. But the Bills now at 8-6 are very much in the race as well. Obviously, the Patriots have been playing very, very well, but they're not eliminated from winning that division just yet. Even so, with an 8-6 record, they're still capable of making the wild card spot, but it is going to be a tough battle to get there. Both of these teams still very much in it, though. Obviously, the Saints out in front. The Falcons with a 29-14 victory over the Buccaneers. The Falcons now at 8-6 on the year. The Buccaneers falling to 7-7. So again, the Falcons, even though they're 8-6, the Saints are only at 9-4-1. However, with the season winding down, it is going to be a very tough battle towards the end here. And again, until they get Julio Jones back, they're just missing some players. Look at Jeremy Curley, 3 catches, 67 yards. Falcons picking up a few of our former players there, and both of them have been having okay seasons for him, but they're not Julio Jones, and that's who they are missing right now. The Buccaneers are pretty much out of it at this point with a 7-7 record. They maybe could still make it, but I think they face a very uphill battle to get there. Colbert forcing a fumble and recovering it. Nice play there by the rookie. 20-17, the Bears with a victory over the Panthers. So despite the Panthers getting a loss by the Saints, they were unable to capitalize on it. The Bears now at 9-5 on the year. We just played the Packers. We know the Packers are 9-5, but the Bears are actually currently holding on to that tiebreaker within the division. So the Packers have secured one wild card spot with a 9-5 record, and that kind of makes things look pretty bleak for the 49ers right now. The Panthers fall to 8-5-1, so once again, a game behind the Saints right now. The Falcons are right there too with 8-6 record. Fumbles forced, one by Freeman. It was not recovered. 28-21. The Dolphins with a victory over the Jets. Neither of these teams are in the playoff picture. The Giants. The Dolphins are currently at 6-8 on the year. The Jets at 4-10. So the Dolphins went 4-12 last year. They have improved upon that. They have DeMarco Pema, who was widely considered the top prospect in the draft. We have not seen an outstanding outstanding season from him, but he has made some plays from time to time. The Jets, on the other hand, went 8-8 last year. They are currently at 4-10, but the injuries to their quarterbacks have really been holding them up. There's DeMarco Pema out of Wisconsin with that interception, teammate of Dimitri Todman, actually. 44-38, the Texans are going to get the victory over the Steelers, so that is a huge upset. The Texans improved to 9-5 on the year. The Steelers, with their third loss, are now at 11-3. The Steelers are in the playoffs regardless. The Texans are still very much fighting for it, and with a big upset victory over the Steelers here, that is the way to start off this final run. The Texans are certainly capable of doing it. They have Logan Roan, a great pickup at tight end. Obviously, they have one of the best wide receivers in the game at Hopkins. You're really seeing their quarterback situation start to play. You know, Osweiler's been playing much better for them over these last few weeks, and the Texans are really starting to make a push, and if they have the capability of beating a team like the Steelers, the sky is the limit for them. We saw a team in the wild card win the Super Bowl last year. That could be the case there too. 31-23, the Broncos with a victory over the Chiefs. The Broncos now at 9-5 on the year. The Chiefs at 7-7. So the Chiefs really started off the season horribly. Then they went on some crazy winning streak with Kevin Hogan and Alex Smith both, you know, taking part in that. And now they've been losing a few weeks in a row and are now at a 7-7 record. At a point, I thought they were probably going to win that division, at the very least be in the conversation with the Raiders for, but it's actually been the Broncos that has come on strong in recent weeks. The Broncos have been playing outstanding, and they are currently with a 9-5 record. 27-21, the Browns get their third victory of the year over the Titans, and look at Houston Church, 387 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception there. Browns now at 3-10-1. The Titans fall to 7-7, and we talked about it. The Titans could have been fighting for a wild card spot, so to get a loss to the Browns here might just knock them out of that situation. They're probably not eliminated from it just yet, but it is certainly not going to be any easy. This should have been an easy win for the Titans. They didn't make it happen. And now all of a sudden their backs are against the wall. Agba with 2 sacks on the day. He is coming back alive in these last few weeks. Davis and Cersei with the interception. Cersei also forcing 2 fumbles, but none were recovered. Morgan and Davis would do that. 45-10, the Lions with a victory over the Ravens. The Lions now at 7-7. Great game by Matthew Stafford. The Ravens fall to 5-8-1. They have still improved on their record last year. Abdullah with a very good game. Riddick as well contributing to that run offense for the Lions, but overall, they still have a ways to go. Look at Earl Anthony, though. 6 catches, 111 yards, and 3 touchdowns for the rookie there. Not quite the game Dimitri Todman had, but an outstanding game nonetheless, especially for a rookie. So it's nice to see him getting involved, getting that chemistry going with Stafford there. Whitehead and Darius Slay Jr. would get the interceptions, and Darius Slay Jr. is just a pick machine. No fumbles on the day, though. 28-24, the Cowboys with a victory over the Redskins. The Cowboys now at 8-6 on the year, and Tony Romo is back from injury. Denton Ritchie once again getting the start. 232 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, though. So it's nice to see him not turn the ball over. He had been struggling with that, but he didn't get any touchdowns today either. The Cowboys again 8-6, Redskins at 6-8, and the Cowboys were a team we kind of wrote off earlier in the year, and now it looks like they are going to win that division, so a huge turnaround for them. And again, getting their quarterbacks healthy has really been a key part of that, but it's interesting to see that Dak Prescott once again benched for Tony Romo, despite having a lot of success on the field. Culberson, a rookie from Pittsburgh, would force a fumble. It would not be recovered. The Rams 17-14 over the Eagles, and the struggle for the Eagles continues. The Rams now at 7-7 on the year, so right behind the 49ers, who are at 8-6 with our matchup on the way, our rematch from 2 weeks ago. The Eagles now at 6-8. And I've said it plenty of times before, but when you start off 5-0 and then you lose, 8 of your next 9 games, you're just, I don't know what happened. I didn't see any injuries that made a big difference for them that should have. And they just started to stumble, kind of like the Colts. You just saw them losing confidence in themselves, and the losses just started to pile up. 31-8, another blowout loss for the Indianapolis Colts here. The Cardinals getting back on track with the win. They are now at 10-4 on the year. The Colts at 1-13. Andrew Luck, 110 yards, no touchdowns. I don't know what happened there, but they are struggling. Presley with another very good game from the rookie there. 185 yards by Floyd on the day against this Colts defense. C.O. Moore would lead the way with 12 tackles, 2 sacks by McCray. He forced a fumble against the 49ers. De'Arius Chekwa, another monster game for the Cardinals. He is an outstanding rookie and continues to make some plays. No interceptions on the day. Fumbles forced, nothing happening there either. 31-28, the Jags with a huge upset victory over the New England Patriots here. The Jags now at 4-9-1. Blake Bortles, an outstanding game. The Pats fall to 9-5. So again, they went 10-6 with Tom Brady. They are 9-5 now with 2 games left. It is certainly possible that they win these next 2 games, and their rookie led the Patriots to a better record than Tom Brady in his last season, but he didn't have an outstanding game. And when you lose a game to a team that came into it 3-9-1, it is not a good loss for their team. Miles Jack would get an interception, the second-year pro there. McCourty and Sheard would force and recover fumbles. 34-31, the Chargers with a victory over the Raiders here. The Chargers now at 7-7 on the year. The Raiders falling to 7-6-1, and much like the Eagles, the Raiders are another team that started out the season very, very strong. They at one point, I think they were tied for the best record in the NFL. And over these last few weeks, the losses have been piling up, and all of a sudden, they might not be getting into the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see how they finish their season. But much like the Colts, and much like we saw with the Eagles as well, the confidence is just gone. You're just not seeing the same level of production that they were giving you earlier in the year. I don't know what caused it, but all of a sudden, their backs are against the wall. We'll see how they respond. 41-28, the Seahawks with a big victory over the Giants here. And Russell Wilson has returned from injury. Now, the Seahawks are at 7-7. So again, 1 game behind the 49ers. But with only 2 weeks left, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I don't know if they are going to be able to get into the wild card spot. We will check that out later in the video. The Giants at 4-10, but the Seahawks were really playing well until Russell Wilson went down with injury. They got 2 or 3 losses in that period, and it really set them behind. We'll have to see if they are able to recover or not. Sacks, 1 by Gabe Wright. Interceptions, 2 by KJ Wright. Sherman and Chancellor each getting an interception as well. We talked about how good their defense is at forcing turnovers. Today was no exception. 24-16. The Bengals with a victory over the Vikings. The Bengals now at 7-7 on the year. The Vikings fall to 4-10. And again, Bengals on the outside looking in terms of trying to get a playoff spot. This is a team that won the Super Bowl last year, and right now it's just not happening. Sitting at 7-7, they are facing a very tough test, if it's possible at all. Again, I don't know off the top of my head, but we will check out the standings here in a little bit to find out if they are eliminated yet or not. Jones leading the way with 10 tackles, 1.5 sacks by Joseph and Atkins. A few other players contributing with some sacks there. And interceptions, we have 4 on the day, 3 of which are by the Bengals defense. Fumbles forced and fumbles recovered. 1 by Rhodes, it would not be recovered. Dimitri Tonman winning Offensive Player of the Week for the 49ers. 6 catches, 197 yards, and 3 touchdowns. KJ Wright, 3 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a fumble forced. Demario Davis, 10 tackles, interception, fumble forced, fumble recovered. And Ben Roethlisberger, 24 of 34, 3 passing touchdowns for him. And again, that Steelers offense is just incredible. And again, they have the best record in the league. He's going to win that despite his team losing. And Dimitri Todman lost as well, obviously. Jack Ivey, early 4th rounder with 3rd round talent, 6'6", okay catching skills, okay blocking skills. Could be a very good middle of the round pick there, middle of the draft pick. Sean Culver, a center, late 5th round selection. Decent stats. We'll have to see how his combine is. Here we are. The Steelers leading the AFC North. The Patriots leading the AFC East. The Broncos the AFC West. And the Texans the AFC South. The Bills are currently in 1 wild card spot. The Raiders are currently in another. The Chargers, Chiefs, Titans, and Bengals are all right there. this is still anybody's guess as to who is going to get into the wild card there. NFC, Cardinals winning the NFC West, the Saints leading the NFC South, the Bears leading the NFC North, the Packers have one wild card spot right now, the Panthers have one wild card spot right now, and then you got to go down to the Cowboys right there. So the Panthers with an 8-5-1 record. The 49ers are at 8-6. The 49ers are not out of this yet, but the Rams, Bucks, Lions, and Seahawks are right on our heels as well. For both conferences, the wild card is still very much up for grabs for a number of teams. These last 2 weeks are going to be interesting, guys. Thank you so much for watching this series. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you guys in Week 16 as the 49ers take on the Los Angeles Rams. Later.